Welcome. I'm Bunny Galadora. I joined the Youth Temperance Council at age 12. I began serving as Maryland State President in 2002. I have served as National WCTU Vice President. I currently serve as National WCTU Media Relations. I have a lot of important information to share with you, so please grab a cup of coffee and sit down because this is going to take a while. If you are a member of the WCTU, most likely you have read or heard at least some of the plan President Sarah Ward put forth to merge with the Center for Women's History and Leadership. However, you may not be aware of some important concerns that I believe need your attention as we make plans for the future of WCTU in the United States. In August of 2015, during the National WCTU Convention, a motion passed authorizing the Commission to propose ideas for revitalizing National WCTU headquarters. None of the members of the Commission were WCTU members. Jenner and Block law firm became pro bono consultants. President Sarah Ward became convinced that the National WCTU would soon dissolve. The Commission, along with Jenner and Block law firm, decided a new organization named the Center for Women's History and Leadership, we just call it the Center, would be formed, and they would take over ownership of all WCTU properties and assets in the United States. Their plan is that National WCTU will merge into the newly formed organization they created. What will a merger with the Center mean for National WCTU? National WCTU will no longer exist. All of our money, property, and contents worth millions of dollars will be given to the Center for free. In exchange, the Center promises to use our buildings and assets to archive WCTU documents and the documents from other women's organizations, regardless of their stand on any issue. The plan also calls for the Center to allow other women's organizations to use our properties to meet their needs, again, regardless of their stand on any issue. For example, one proposal calls for our 2 income-producing houses to be used as subsidized housing for the YWCA. The resolution of delegates of the National Women's Christian Temperance Union, dated July 27, 2017, that were voted on allowed for the transfer of National WCTU properties to the Center on October 31, 2017. The transfer did not take place at that time. I believe it was because it is illegal for at least 3 reasons. First, proper business procedures were not followed during the 2017 National Convention. The resolution to merge was read, but there was no motion to accept it. The vote was taken in violation of Robert's Rules of Order. Therefore, if any action were to be taken, it would be illegal. Second, the plan to merge that was voted on violated National WCTU bylaws, which mandate our properties must be used for educational, religious, and social welfare purposes. None of these are listed in the Center's official bylaws, therefore the plan as voted on is illegal. Third, even though the WCTU properties are in need of repair, their worth is estimated to be in the millions of dollars. Even the contents of the properties are very valuable. To give them over to the Center for free would not only be foolish and irresponsible, but would also be against the National WCTU and World WCTU bylaws, dissolution clause, and therefore illegal. Either one of these facts would be enough to cause us to stop this merger. However, believe it or not, the details get even worse. In a packet of information sent out by Sarah Ward dated September 7, 2017, Review of Basic Facts, item number 7, quote, "The WCTU is responsible to build our endowment fund to a level that the interest from it will sustain the properties and pay expenses. This is why all money, investment, properties, etc., which belong to local and state WCTUs is to be given to the National WCTU," end of quote. Not only will all National WCTU assets go to the Center, but all assets of every state and local union are to be given to the Center. The Center is not a Christian organization. They have repeatedly made that very clear, verbally and in writing. The majority of the members on the board of the Center are the same people who made up the commission that developed this plan. They are not WCTU members. We have been told that the intentions of those on the board of the Center are to repair and repurpose our WCTU properties so that the history of the WCTU and our leaders can be presented in the best of light. But exactly what will our story be in their hands? It has been said that past performance is often an indication of future performance, and that you are known by the company you keep. With those two thoughts in mind, there are a few things I think you need to know. As I stated earlier, the plan calls for the center to not only store WCTU archives, but also store documents from any other women's organization upon request. Women will be honored and documents archived, even if their accomplishments are in direct opposition to what WCTU stands for. So let's look at two examples of past activities at Frances Willard House to see how it was used to help us get an idea of how WCTU assets might be used in the future if given to the center. On Sunday, August 28, 2016, History on Tap held a bar crawl. Participants paid $55 each. The event started with the tour of Frances Willard House and then visited several bars in Evanston, enjoying alcoholic drinks along the way. When confronted about this, the response was, "We cannot control who wants to have a tour or why they want to have a tour." Well, that's very true. However, quoting from the website promoting the event, "We're raising a glass to good old Frances on this temperance and more history and drinking tour through Evanston. A portion of the proceeds go to benefit the restoration of Frances Willard House." It seems like someone knew what the plan was if some proceeds were going to Frances Willard House. On June 25, 2017, Black Lives Matter witness quilt was unveiled in Frances Willard House. According to the Black Lives Matter website, they are working to rebuild the Black liberation movement. Black Lives Matter is listed as a domestic terrorism threat by the FBI. WCTU welcomes all races into our organization. As evidence, I offer our outreach around the world. However, WCTU should not be associated with any group the FBI has listed as a domestic terrorism threat. Books for sale at Frances Willard House and promoted in the tweets and on the websites are not the kind of books WCTU members would approve of. For instance, a book promoting Emily's List, which is a political action committee that aims to help elect pro-choice female candidates to office, and the book Girls and Sex are just to name two. The other tweets have not always been in the best interest of WCTU, and some have been in direct opposition to our message. Here are a few examples of tweets pretending to be from Frances Willard. "It would doubtless shock the radical Miss Stanton to see how long this road was, but that we have reached it is a triumph. Hashtag Hillary Clinton. WCTU cannot endorse political candidates because it puts our tax-exempt status in danger." February 19, 2016. "I say nothing about your behavior on hashtag National Drink Wine Day, but I am here the day after with water and aspirin for you all." January 8, 2015. "In the 19th century, I fought for the rights of women. Today, Madry speaks and is continuing the fight." Do you know who Madry is? Well, let's take a look at their website. Madry works for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersexual, and questioning rights. It is a multi-country initiative. Madry does not speak for us, and none of our websites should say that it does. Frances Willard website promoted the Pussy Hat protest march. It included a link to a website on how to make a pussy hat with the words, "What's next? Put on your hat, the fight continues." Another tweet from the website says, "Supporting the aspirations and artistic ambitions of other women was, of course, very important to me in my own non-spectral lifetime. Beginning today, see the exceptional photography of Vanessa Finley at my home." There's a beautiful photo of a woman pretending to be a young Frances Willard in her bedroom reading a book entitled Together We Rise. I ordered the book on Amazon and it came within a few hours. Together We Rise is a behind-the-scenes look at Women's Protest March that was held January 21, 2017. It was written by the march organizers. The book is dedicated to women, including trans warriors and witches, saying, quote, "You are our light in the dark." Such a shame that such a beautiful photo has a not-so-hidden message. There are 8 unity principles in this book, which include civil rights, workers' rights, reproductive rights, and LGBTQIA. The book calls on readers to get involved. It lists lots of organizations, and here are some in the order they are listed in the book: Black Lives Matter Network, Showing Up for Racial Justice, a national organization of anti-racist groups for white people who want to dismantle the system of white supremacy. The American Civil Liberties Union, Sex Workers Outreach Project dedicated to the rights of people involved in the sex trade through advocacy. Sister Song Women of Color Reproductive Justice Collective, Achieve Reproductive Justice Through Abortion. Planned Parenthood, Narrow Pro-Choice America, LGBTQIA+ Rights Transgender Law Center, National LGBTQ Task Force works to mobilize activists, Southerners on New Ground, a queer liberation organization. Why is this book promoted in a photo in Frances Willard's home and on our website? Then there is the issue of the company they keep. In a letter to the presidents dated June 16, 2017, Sarah Ward included a paper entitled Current Factual Information Regarding the National WCTU Properties in Evanston. We were told that there would be respect for sanctity of life and that the WCTU would not be networking with the YWCA or agree with their stand on various matters, among other statements. However, several of the statements are in direct opposition to the documents I received from the FWHA, now reorganized as the Center. The document New Foundation for WCTU Evanston Campus, the mission will include supporting the work of organizations such as Evanston's Women History Project and offering other space such as the YWCA of Evanston North Shore, the League of Women Voters, and other women's organizations. One of the four main purposes is women's issues advocacy and activism. The groups support abortion and the homosexual agenda. These groups are in direct opposition to WCTU principles. According to President Sarah Ward, the Center's trustees are honest, caring individuals who respect WCTU in its long history. That may be true, however, I believe that they have a very different value system than the WCTU, including support for abortion and the homosexual agenda. I think it's worth repeating you are known by the company you keep. So first let's look at the pro bono law firm that has put this proposal together. According to Gender and Block website, they work to promote and support lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender diversity, have worked in landmark LGBT civil liberties cases, and are proud to be recognized for the impact many of their LGBT lawyers have had in the community and on society. In an effort to satisfy some concerns brought to her attention in September 21, 2017, President Sarah Ward sent an email. An attachment to state presidents were reassured that Lori Osborne was on the job and ready to make changes. Then in January 2018 happenings, Lori Osborne wrote a page-long explanation of what feminism is. Quoting Lori Osborne, "We sometimes use the word to describe Willard and the work of the WCTU," end of quote. Well, what does Lori mean when she uses the term feminism? Lori Osborne's tweet of 2016, quote, "Fun with feminism, workbooks, coloring books, activity books, definitely fun. Check out our at It's Alice time." I ordered the book promoted, Fun with Feminism, and I was shocked. Is this what Lori means when she uses it to describe Frances Willard and what she would be promoting if she were alive today? In President Sarah Ward's letter of September 7th, she wrote, quote, "Our reputation is very important to us, and care should be given to be accurate and fair," end of quote. I couldn't agree more, and that is why I'm so strongly opposed to this merger. I believe that when taken as a whole, any reasonable observer would conclude that the WCTU and the Center are incompatible. World WCTU President Margaret Olsenstad wrote, quote, "The need is greater than ever and our work will never be finished. It is doable as long as we don't lose hope." The World WCTU has always been proud of its heritage, and I am saddened that prime focus these past 2 years has been to work very hard on protecting and preserving our history. It is our heritage. Past warriors and leaders are in danger of their good names and reputations being distorted or blackened on social media. It is already happening. Historical negativism, otherwise known as rewriting history, is occurring regularly with online inferences about Frances Willard's life, attitudes, and activities. Persons or groups engaged in these distortions of facts are in no way affiliated with the World WCTU. We must not allow them to abuse our history to suit modern-day ideas." End of quote. Our goal must be to help National WCTU, not dissolve it. America needs National WCTU now as much as, or more so, than it did in the past. Today, the opiate crisis is making front-page news as opiate deaths are happening everywhere at an average rate of 115 deaths in the United States every day. And there are many other issues that are not front-page news that need our attention. The list of concerns is endless. We have a choice to make. We can use our buildings and our money to continue to glorify God, or we can give what God has given to us over to the center. We must save our true history so we can share the real-world examples of how God has worked through godly women to improve society and how He continues to guide godly women today. We must stop this merger and get back to work. Alternatives to the current plan must be developed. Our Constitution and bylaws need to be revised. Our outreach methods must be updated. Let us remember our tradition of noontime prayer. I strongly encourage each of you to pray for one another. Pray that God will bless us with all that we need to preserve our heritage for His glory and continue to do what He has called us to do. Please do not reincorporate under another name or distance yourself from the National WCTU at this time. We need each of you if we are to reorganize, revitalize, and move forward. I urge you to stay within the WCTU family. WCTU has been a deep controversy in the past, and we can all come together stronger than before. I welcome emails with questions and concerns and suggestions, thanking you in advance for your prayers.